Yeah, and then about an hour prior to my studio session,
Shorty hit you up.
I met somebody and we had sex in
Miami.
like an hour before.
So you get there, and between getting there and going to the studio,
Met somebody and went back to my room.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price.
You.
And our guest today, Kory Burns.
Yes, sir.
How are you? Thank you.
As always, guys, thank you for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. If you have not hit that subscribe button, yes, please do. We're trying to grow our following. And thank you for all your endless love and support.
Yes.
So, Kory, I didn't tell you this a little bit. Fanboy is not the right word for it. I've never met you in person, but I've known your name since I was in high school.
Yes.
This is Kory Burns' character who sings and performs and
Quite the local legend.
quite the local legend. So I feel honored to be in your presence today.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was surprised that you guys didn't know each other. I didn't realize that you didn't know each other until like 5 minutes ago when I asked Nick before you walked in the door. Like, you know Kory, right?
Well, he went to Gardens. I went to Dwyer. We're 4
Right.
years apart. So
I guess it makes sense.
But that's what I'm saying. His legacy is there because I heard of you for sure. So
Nick, you got like a booger.
do I? No. Here's what happened.
it's
I'm not
true.
doing cocaine. If it zoom in, Pete, zoom in. I had a fucking cold last week, not vid, but a cold. And I blow my nose all the fucking time, and after a while, there's like a rash that comes on your nose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
absolutely.
It's the worst thing in the world, and then you have to keep blowing your nose. Okay, so don't judge
I'm
me.
glad you clarified the drug
Yeah,
use,
yeah,
'cause that's immediately where my mind went.
So no, I'm not fucking snorting coke all day, every day.
We did just have our party this past weekend, Nick.
Bingo.
You were ripping it.
And shout out to Ford for that, guys. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
hosting our party.
Thanks for everyone that came too. It was like
and
a
thank you for
fucking
everyone
awesome
that came.
turnout. I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little nervous that like we weren't gonna fill the place up and
Yeah.
throw a cool party, but it was a ton of fucking fun, and I was super happy with everyone that turned out.
And yeah, it's nervous going into something like that. You don't know what to expect.
Yeah. I
But-
saw you performed that night, just recently on the 4th.
Was that the night before Thanksgiving?
No, that was-
December 4th.
Oh no, I told
Yeah.
you I've been smoking on that. I might have gone
But that's like the busiest night of the year. What were you doing the night before Thanksgiving?
performing.
Where were you at?
Someplace in Fort Lauderdale.
How was it?
Very busy.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Big spot? Small spot?
Big spot actually.
Big
It was a
spot.
big spot actually.
Sick.
It was nice.
Now, when you go and perform, do you have just like a list of 10 songs that you go in and attack? Like, what's that mindset going into it?
Usually when I perform now, it's usually just one or two songs.
Okay.
So I just walk in, I know what I'm doing, I'll have my dancers,
Yep.
get the DJ, like, yo, and then set it up and just walk in, do my thing, and
Sick, quick set.
go. Yeah.
Nice.
Now, what songs do you pick? Do you kind of like what you're feeling that day, your energy? Like, how do you
Well,
decide
right
that?
now, we're pushing my new song, Sex in Miami.
Okay.
So I'll go out and I'll sing my last song, Radio, and I'll sing Sex in Miami,
Yep.
or I'll do Sex in Miami with the extended remix.
Okay.
And that one is really fun.
Yeah.
It's cool to do.
Sick.
Now, what are your? Because you've been doing this how long? You think?
About 10 years.
Yeah. So 10 years into it, do you get the butterflies still before you go on stage?
Yeah, I shake, I can't talk,
Yeah.
I get nervous, my mouth is dry.
Do you think it'll be that way forever? Does that ever go away?
I'm not
It
really
can't, bro. He's
sure.
10 years into it, he's still getting it.
Yeah.
I feel you, dude.
But if you talk to an NFL football player before every game, they probably still get nervous. I mean,
You think so, right?
I think that shows you care. I think that shows you're excited
It
towards
is.
it.
Yeah,
It's cool.
sure,
It's different though, but now the shows are getting bigger.
Okay.
So the last show was like 3,000 people, and
Sick.
of course, but it was crazy because I had some of my friends with me, and I was drinking before,
Yeah.
and my nerves were like they were there, but
Yeah.
I just ran out. I had a blow up doll like on my shoulder.
Okay.
Walked out like that was like the energy was there, so it's
Okay.
just different. But then I had a show a couple nights ago. And it was very small. It was an intimate, like for the police force and stuff. And I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
everybody, all eyes, like so.
Yeah.
It's different.
Now, whenever you go to out of crowd of thousands, do you find like one thing and look at it, or are you like trying to make? Do you make eye
Imagine
contact
everyone
with people?
naked.
Yeah.
This is so fun. I was noticing this the other night. I was like, I'm trying to engage more in eye contact because
Yeah.
I have no problem with jumping out into the crowd and bringing people on stage and dancing, but
Sure.
the eye contact with and when you're singing on stage and looking down is very difficult for
Yeah,
me.
sure.
Or just in general when I'm walking, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I just
sure.
dance. That's why I dance with you and like I'll hang
Yeah.
out, but then
Yeah.
but no.
So, do you have the song so memorized in your head that you could do other things while singing it, or do you have to like think through the chorus?
It depends. Yeah, I don't really think about the song.
You ever had a
when I'm
moment where you
singing.
drew a blank?
If I do, I just laugh and I'm like, oh well, I've done it.
Yeah,
Funny
yeah,
that. I'm
just
just like,
play it
what
off.
is it? But then if, thank God, sometimes a lot of the time, people are singing it to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's
that's
where
where
I'm
that's
at.
where we're at in the song.
Yeah,
That's where it
yeah.
is, and I'm like, oh wait, okay.
That's funny.
Luckily, my songs are easy enough to remember.
Now, growing up, did you always know you wanted to be a performer of some kind? Is that something that comes very naturally to you? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, 3 years old, I knew I was going to be a singer.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
And with such like a everyone has an opinion type of thing that comes behind singing, is it something scary when you first came out and were talking to your friends and family about, I'm going to release songs, and like give me through that process of like taking that leap?
Everybody I kind of always around me always knew that I was going to be a singer, that I was a singer. That's just always what I talked about or that I knew. Even though people didn't really hear it or see it, they didn't, Kory's going to be a singer, Kory is a singer. And then I started doing music in high school, and I tried to keep it really to myself. And it was a song called Count the Ways. And,
I remember.
And then it just
I
was
think
like...
that's the first song.
And then everybody was like... And I was like, okay, cool, I can... So thankfully, when everybody got to hear me for the first time, it was a great way.
Yeah,
And
it was
wasn't
well
like
received.
a bad... Like, only thing that probably was negative was... He's using auto-tune, and I was like, that's fine. That's fine if that's the only bad thing you're saying.
Yeah.
I
Fast forward 10 years later, everyone's using auto-tune.
It's cool, though. We had our high school reunion the other day, and the last song of the night was Count the Ways.
Yeah, high school
And
reunion
everybody was
came out.
singing it. It was really cool. It was really nice.
We're getting to high school reunion
Yeah, my
time,
sister
man.
just had
Holy
hers.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
I feel like we just had a baby high school reunion at 4 the other night.
It was a little bit like that.
There's a lot of
it was
Dwyer squad in
awesome.
there.
And I love seeing people that actually want to catch up with. You know what I'm saying? Like not the night before Thanksgiving type of like, oh, how you doing? You know, how you been?
Awkward.
Like an actual people like actually talk to me about life. Like,
How about Ethereum?
Yeah, seriously. Now, with cultivating these songs, how do you do that? Do you get a beat and then start writing? Do you start writing then get a beat? Like, well, how does that work?
I usually go into the studio with an idea of some sort of what I want and a couple of reference ideas of songs that I kind of want to go in this direction. And I'll say, all right, let's do it. And then we'll start working on the beat and writing at the same time. And
So do you have someone that you get beats from? Are you participating in the creation of the beat also?
every single step of the way.
So-
Really?
I'm
That's
in
cool.
this thing. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with people sending me beats and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I just don't really use them because I want my energy to be in the beat
Sure.
as well. I want my
Signature
creativity
to be on it.
stamp. Yeah.
So what's the term for that? Are you producing?
I'm like a co-producer in my own
Yeah.
way, yeah.
Cool.
And I'll just be like, I want to go this direction. Let's use these sounds. Let's do this, but I want this, and he gets it, and then melodically.
So you have an engineer you work with.
I'm producing. He
Okay.
does it all, so my producer and stuff. And
Has it always been the same dude that you work with?
yeah.
That's cool.
And now I'm starting to bring new people in and work
Shout
with
him
new
out.
people.
Who is
and
it?
Sean McMillian.
Shout
Hey.
Of the exclusives. How you doing? 12 number ones. Let's go.
Hey.
And yeah, he's done all my stuff with me. And then I brought in Carlos Batty,
Cool.
huge Grammy winner, Madonna. Hi, how you doing? Tons of number ones. And
Okay.
then Tracy Young just did the remix, and she's got 60 number ones on the dance charts, and she's Madonna's
Wow.
official remixer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody that I'm bringing in now, it's like bigger. And
Yeah,
bigger,
yeah,
and
yeah.
We're all working together, and it's really cool to hear the projects coming along together. So
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's
it's
sick.
cool.
Now, when you go to pick a type of song, do you go more off of emotion and what you're feeling, or do you go off of like the trends? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, is it hard to decide what direction you want to go with?
I'm fine with. I guess it just depends on the mood, but I'm kind of usually. I kind of blend everything, because like if you listen to my stuff now, it's very today, but there's like some 90 elements for real, like in the song Radio. It's all 90s based
Yeah.
references. If you listen to the remix of my new song Sex in Miami, it's all 90s dance beats.
Okay.
And you can hear the references and stuff, and I guess I just kind of mix them all together.
Do you think you're a student of the musical game? Is that something that's always been very like? Do you dive deeper, or do you really just kind of focus on the macro?
I just have fun with it.
Yeah.
I just have fun with it, and whatever happens, happens. It could be me and just a guitar, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it could be me and the whole studio thing, and that's even better.
You play instruments as well?
I do not.
Okay.
What are you doing with that guitar?
The one
Yeah.
string.
That's it.
That's why I said the one
Yeah,
chord.
gotcha.
That's it.
That goes out with the guitar, just flicks one chord.
That's all I do.
Lil Wayne was doing that for a little while. I
Yeah.
feel like
That's
he saw a lot of guitars in the music videos.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly
It's a very
what I
simple
was talking
strumming. It's okay.
When you go on stage and you perform, do you have a choreographed dance that goes along with that? Do you kind of just goes with a vibe?
So it's really funny because I'll actually have dancers, and we've probably practiced for like a week or maybe 2 weeks, but I'm the one that doesn't have, like, I'm just like, okay, and like I might have a couple steps here and there, but I lose them.
Okay.
I'm gone. I'm out. and because my nerves and I'm excited in the crowd and I'm just like running around and then I'll be like on this side of the stage and they're like looking at me like, you need to be over here. We need to. And so I'm getting better at that. But I usually have the answers because I like to run around and just have fun.
I can just imagine them at dance practice. Like, why the fuck are we here? Like Kory's running around.
I
again.
was literally at a grand opening for a new strip club over here and I had to go dance practice at like 11 o'clock. And I was like, okay, left there, went to dance practice for like an hour and a half, got it all done, went back to the club.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, got it in, got it out. It's funny. But yeah, during practice and stuff, it's like, wow, I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
Now, is it obvious to say, like, what are your, like, end goals with this? I mean, is it just to kind of keep growing, or is it like a passion project that you eventually want to do? Like, what's your identity when it comes to music, you know, and being a full-time artist?
I'm doing just, honestly, just God's plan for me. I'm just having fun with it. That's what people don't get. And I'm like, I'm really out here living my own little dream. I'm not trying to sit here and, it'd be great if I was as big as X, Y, and Z.
Of course.
But my shows are getting bigger. I'm having fun.
Right.
I'm doing whatever I want to do. I'm working with crazy talented people that people around here couldn't even touch.
Yeah.
And and it's stamped on it.
Sure.
You know, my shows, they're not. I'm doing what I'm doing.
You're doing something right.
Yeah. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm on my own record label.
Yeah.
I've been offered deals and this, and this, but I'm doing it all on my own, doing what I'm doing, and
You're a
have
true
my little
independent
team.
artist,
You know.
Do you have any short-term goals for yourself? You know, what do you see yourself doing the next 3 to 5 years?
I want to release an album. I want to actually release like a full album.
Has it been just singles up until this point?
Yeah, it's only been.
Yeah.
Technically, I've only released 4 songs.
And so what's stopping you from doing the album?
Time.
I'm not really sure what's stopping me from that.
Because you're passionate about it, right?
Sure,
So, like, why?
I think I just like doing the single and focusing on just that, and then going out and having fun, and then going back and doing my next song. Because when you do it, it's a lot. It sounds like it's not, and it's very very expensive.
Yeah, because you
Especially if you want
campaign
quality.
and promote the stuff that you're releasing, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can, but then it's like, all right, then for me, when you're a new artist or up and coming, and you're not as big as somebody selling a whole album.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not going to sit here and spend X amount of dollars to do an entire album when you're only going to hear the 2 songs that I pushed or the 1 song that I pushed.
Correct.
I'd rather do an EP, 3, 4, 7 songs, 5 songs maybe, and call it a day for right now. And then, you know, God forbid some crazy shit happens, then I'm like, all right, there's the full album. Then you spit those out. But for somebody like me, just right now, just like when I pop into a show, it's only a couple songs here and there, so why not just release 3, 4 at a time? And
It's like but it's so true. Like these artists, a lot of them, like these rappers and these upcoming artists that boomed, they got hot on one song. Like Post Malone was like White Iversons. Remember? Like no one knew of him before that. Yeah. You have one song, it blows up, and then they pour the money into the next album and the next album.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that pretty standard for the industry? Is that like kind of
I don't know.
the way that works?
I'm just kind of doing whatever I see and feel and just what I think is best for me at this point in time. Yeah. It doesn't make sense for me to make an album. It makes sense for me to do singles, release the video, do some cool promotion, be able to put myself out there a little bit.
Right.
And then go to the next, and it's working right now. I'm having fun.
So how far do you think like a project like an album is for you?
How far away?
Yeah.
I would like to just get into the studio next year and probably at least do like an EP of like and I saw 4 to 6 songs.
What's that mean, an EP?
I've always wanted
not an album, so it's like 4 to 6 songs, like a short album.
But not a mixtape? I don't know what you wouldn't call that a mixtape?
No, because a mixtape's me using somebody else's beats.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I think, right.
So with being in this social scene, do you feel like you have to go out all the time to kind of push this stuff? Like, how is it? Do you feel like there's this pressure to go out and be this, you know, Kory Burns, the singer and performer when you go out? Or is there like 2 different personas?
Or is that just who you are naturally?
That's the thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm just this natural born party boy.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about high school. We were talking, we didn't go to the same high school, but I was at every party in high school, and I was friends with everybody, or we were throwing the parties.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was just a big social thing, and then right out of high school, nightclubs.
Yeah.
And then it was like, that was your first job. Okay, well, there's a social aspect right there. And just being in it, you just kind of staying in. All I was doing is hosting parties or I was never really.
Which is basically like you marketing yourself.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And they were playing my videos all night. They play my music, so it's just another way of promoting myself.
Your network.
Yeah, and it came with the territory.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
And obviously, I mean, I feel like it goes without saying, but that must benefit you today with what you're doing now because you've got this huge network of people who know you and love you.
Yeah, it's really cool, especially when you have nightclubs constantly put you out there, and then it shows these other clubs. Oh,
right, because the two industries kind of complement each other.
Yeah. In a big way, yeah. I'm getting all these shows, and now they're at nightclubs, and it's taking off, and it's a lot of fun, and it's cool. And they're like, okay, well, if he's doing that one and that one, we'll take him. All right. And the next thing you know, we'll be at 11. Okay, we'll be there. Just wait on it. We'll be there.
I love it.
You saw 11 had the Island Boys 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Did you see they flopped?
Yeah.
You surprised?
And that's another one song hit. I don't know how the fuck they're at 11. Well, that's awesome, Kory. Now, are you still? Now, you said you're still working downtown West Palm.
Once in a while, yeah. I host parties here and there, and try to just keep busy and put my energy into some stuff. So I'm just chilling, but otherwise it's just performing. And
what's your favorite bar in West Palm?
I cannot. I'm not really. I've worked in so many other places.
As he has one on his head.
This is just a nice spot. Like, we love everybody downtown West Palm. You know, it's cool, and I don't know. There's no everybody everywhere is different. And
I love how like you guys are obviously friends with a lot of people that work at the different bars though. Because I asked John Dura that last week, and he had like not gonna tell you that, but we're just gonna go through a great list of bars.
It switches for me constantly. It depends on my mood that day. Because sometimes I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with this ratchet motherfucking place. Like, but then sometimes I'm like, that's my shit.
So let me ask you this. Maybe this will get you a little less hot water, but like. You and I both have grown up in this area our whole life, been going downtown our whole life. What's your favorite, like, area to go to outside of downtown West Palm? Is it like Fort Lauderdale, Delray, Miami?
See, I really want to say it, but I don't want people to start really fucking going there.
Don't blow up the spot. Oh, man, that's a true memory.
I learned my lesson with being in the club thing and being promoting and like all that, and I would constantly post where I was doing, and then all of a sudden people were going like, "Why are you going there?" I was like, "Oh shit, I'm constantly posting it." That's and then I forget how many people around town really have me on social media because I don't know, and I'll look and I'll be like, and then I'm like, oh,
that makes sense.
But I'll tell you guys after this.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys after this where to go, but it's like some dope shit.
Yeah.
But if I have to say some spots, like I went to the Hard Rock the other night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had my show, and then we went to the Cascade show.
Yeah.
Sick.
And it's I don't know. I love
have you been
that
to the new Hard Rock?
No.
It fucks. It's really nice.
It's dope. We had a nice table. It was really cool. It was my first time there.
I'll tell you one place I fucking love every time I go though, and I don't go a lot, is Delray.
Yeah.
I fucking love the Ave is sick.
It's a nice change of pace from West Palm.
And Fort Lauderdale's dope too. They have a set of bars in Fort Lauderdale that I love as well.
Have you been to the Wharf yet?
Yeah,
I think I've only been downtown in Fort Lauderdale like one time.
It's really fun. I'll be honest, I've lived in South Florida my entire life and I party. I've never been to downtown Miami and partied ever.
Yeah, I haven't properly either.
Have you been to 11?
I'm telling you, I've never been in the nightlife scene at all. Yeah.
I've gone to like Wynwood. That's it. That's like the only bar hopping I've done in Miami, and then gone to like dinner at a few nice places, but then not gone out after.
But like like the movies, like what they show of Miami, I've never done that before.
Yeah, ripped it proper.
I don't. Yeah.
Because that's what's in my head, Kory. Like I've never seen it before.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
See what we do is we'll leave here downtown. We leave here at work at 4 a.m. and we shoot down there. You know, then we're at 11. Yeah, that's what we.
Now you're speaking a foreign language to me.
This is
Nick's getting ready to wake up in 1 hour at 4 in the morning. Nick's gonna wake up 1 hour later.
Straight to 11 and then space, and these clubs are open like 24 hours, right? And I mean, there's been times where you get down there and I had to buy jeans in the parking lot out of someone's trunk because like you had to have dress code. Like we just get down there and you just while out, you party.
Someone took a business out of that. Someone's selling jeans out of that.
You have no idea.
Did you know that?
I believe it.
I've got the pictures.
That is an entrepreneur, man. That guy said, I see a situation and I got to do that.
And they were so long. It was terrible.
So you good dancer? If you're going out that late, you got to be dancing. You got some moves to you?
I mean, we don't really dance when we go out like that.
We dance.
I'm glad you said that because I definitely don't.
Are you like a
but
little
Nick
shuffle
does.
guy?
If you see this guy's ripping.
Yeah, you do the
Well,
the
see, and then you look over and I'm walking around the bar with an air canister. So I mean,
right?
Yeah.
I'm always like in my own little chicken vibe, and then.
Kind of like the choreography for the show, you know. You're vibing, but you might not miss the cues.
But then I have my couple moves that I do, and I'll show off a little bit. I definitely have. Okay, yeah, I do. I
got him. Okay, the truth comes out. The truth comes out.
I do. Yeah, I do. Oh God.
We're gonna have to pull some footage from a show or something.
Dude, we were dancing in 4 this weekend, man.
Was I dancing?
Pete, you do the little vibe.
Yeah, I got a jig.
You can't really dance in there.
I don't really got a lot of moves.
One of my friends started shuffling. You ever shuffled? Do you shuffles?
At EDC when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
You
can do it?
I think I really can.
Okay, cool. So I believe you, Kory. I believe you.
I don't know, but when I'm there and I'm in my own world.
Comment below if you think Kory can actually shuffle.
If you've witnessed it in real life, because I know you're out there, somebody.
So, I can't wait to hear this scene that is a secret. Is it? I hope it's like a speakeasy or something fucking crazy like that.
No, but it's a vibe.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And
so you're gonna be like, I know what you're talking about. You're like, really? Really, bitch? I waited for this.
Now, were you in in chorus in high school and whatnot? Like, was that?
Yeah, until I don't want to say kicked out, but we called it creative differences. We had to part ways.
Who? You and the whole school? What do you mean we?
Technically, yeah.
Me and Palm Beach County School District.
Oh God, that's a whole nother game. That's a whole nother game.
What?
There's a whole letter around high school about how I manipulated the school system. It was terrible.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because I don't know. I knew how. I just,
I got no clue. Listen.
What were you manipulating?
The school system, technically, I guess. I don't know. Because I would always get out of not being in trouble or.
Did you skip a lot of school, Kory?
No, I just didn't go.
This is a general blanket statement? Is that the professional statement I dropped out?
No, so actually I have a secret. Like, it's not a secret, but like my mom knows it's not a secret. So in high school, my voice was, believe it or not, higher than this.
Okay. As most of us,
I
right?
would call. I'm admitting to it. I don't care. I got my diploma. Barely, but I got it.
Yeah.
So I would call the school and pretend that I was my mom.
So you swear.
And I would just release my son, and then they're like, okay, what's the password? And then I was like the only freshman that drove to school.
Wait, how?
I was 16. I got held back in 4th grade. And started school late. So
Kory was showing up to 6-packs his senior year.
So yeah, I wouldn't really skip.
That's funny as fuck.
I would just call myself out.
That's wicked funny.
And this was like the whole 4-year experience?
Because I wanted to get credit for my classes.
Okay.
So if your mom excuses you, then you get credit for going.
Because you get there, you get your attendance.
Right.
And then I would go to the bathroom or something.
And just never come back.
No, I'd call myself out, and then they would send a pass.
That's wonderful.
And then I can walk to my car.
But when you have to walk back to class to get the pass, so you literally go to the bathroom, make the call, come back to class.
The teacher would be like, "Oh, Kory, your mom called again while you were
Because the office
gone."
would send
the
student aid.
You know what?
Smart guy.
Or I would pre-call and be like, "Hey, let him out for a 6th period. And he's like 3:45."
Yeah. He's got another dentist appointment.
You beat the system.
Oh no! And then my best friend's dad at the time, which actually she still is, but wrote me like an elevator pass because he was a chiropractor, so I didn't have to take the stairs. I had my dermatologist write me a bathroom pass.
Now you're just being a diva, Kory.
I had like the bathroom pass, like you could just walk like whenever you want the bathroom pass. Like teacher couldn't say no. Like
that's funny as fuck.
And then that's why the manipulating.
There was a bathroom pass that the teacher couldn't say no to.
Yes, because it was like a doctor's.
The super
script.
pass.
It was dope.
That's so fucking funny.
Kory beat the fuck out of the system.
When I was in high school, my mom like switched phone numbers. Like at this time, like the Palm Beach County School Board had like my parents' contact phone number, right? So when you missed class, it did the automatic phone call saying so and so didn't show up for 5th period, but the number was outdated because my mom got a new phone and a new number. So for the longest, when I'd skip class, it was just calling some other number that wasn't my mom's phone.
That's fire.
So I got away with it for a long time, and then one day she realized it. Because I had like an excessive amount of absences, and it was like 55 absences in my English class or some shit. So they sent a letter to the house saying he's gonna have like a truancy problem if you don't handle this.
Christ.
And she was like, "Pete, how the fuck did you miss a class 55 times? I didn't get any phone calls." Fuck, I don't know, man. That's crazy. That must be a mistake.
Really, you pull that? It
didn't work. No, we had to go have a meeting at the school, and they were like, "Pete." Yeah, okay. So me and Matt keep going to McDonald's during 5th period. I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's so funny.
Now, did literally was it like the school district and like superintendent came to school? Was like, Kory, you got to stop.
No, it was a teacher that was upset about it because I had gotten into a class and it was like the first, second, third day, and I didn't like his attitude, and I'm very like assertive and like aggressive. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you the core story later, but so. I didn't fucking like his attitude.
Okay.
And if my mom would tell my teachers, if you want him to respect you, you're gonna respect him. You're with him more than I am. And like it was a real thing with me in school.
Sure. Kory had more pull than a teacher's.
It was
school.
the funniest thing.
I know you, boss. Shut the fuck up.
Like you guys. It's the funniest thing because that was the thing. Know the higher ups. Know the
Yeah.
So we had a little argument. And
in front of the whole class.
Yeah. So this guy, and I'm like, whatever. And he was like, get in the hallway. Like, he was going to write me a referral.
Yeah.
I said, the fuck you are. Straight to that office, got switched out of the class before the referral got to the office. So by the time that it did, and I was already switching to another class, I had a different teacher. So they were, and they pulled me out of the, and then he's like, Kory, and I'm like, that's old. I'm already switched out. Like, this is irrelevant. He was like, okay, good for it. And the other teacher that heard that, freaked out and was like, he manipulates the school system. He gets away with everything. And I'm
okay.
Like,
well, you sort of did, but that was good. I feel like that was fair game.
I did. I'll own it. I accept it, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, you're smart.
Kory
for
was
that,
the bad boy at high school. He just did what
but
the fuck
the thing
he
is,
wanted.
I was the teacher's pet at the same time.
I believe it also.
Like, they liked that.
It was the worst. It was the funniest thing, but like the worst.
Because they wanted to hate you, but they were kind of friends with you.
They couldn't. And that's that they were actually like friends with me. Like some of the teachers, like some of them were at the high school reunion. Like there's one that we were actually like friends with. Like,
okay.
And the other one, like our class was very weird. Close with the teachers, but
yeah.
You still keep in touch with a lot of kids from high school?
Everybody I was friends with, except
really?
a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
And are those friendships like all throughout childhood too? That like where did Gardens High School, like what middle schools went there? Was it?
I went to Duncan.
Okay.
But I went to Alamanda for elementary. And then Watkins is over there, kind of.
Yeah, I guess the other middle school in North Palm is Watkins.
You went to Duncan, right?
Duncan, yeah. But Jupiter Farms goes to Duncan. Duncan has a lot of fucking
yeah,
weird
a ton of my friends.
Is that a huge
Jupiter
school?
Farms. Duncan?
No, but IMS and Jupiter Middle School are before Duncan from Jupiter Farms, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, yeah, Gardens always threw fucking banger parties in high school. I knew that. The kids, especially our senior class, partied really hard. Really tight knit group of people though, and they're all really good people as well.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah, right.
I picked him up we were at a party one day and we had a mutual friend and he was like, oh, my friend Peter's going with us. I was like, okay. He gets in the car. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here I am. Like, how old are you? You were young.
Yeah, we were going downtown.
Yeah,
too.
we were going downtown. Where were we? I was working in these clubs.
I know, that was the thing. Kory was already plugged in downtown.
And how I got into downtown was because of music.
Okay.
And they were like, you always have like 20 people with you. Like, do you want to host a party? And it was like, the first one was like over 200. And they were like, holy fucking shit. I had everyone from town come. Like, I was not playing.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, we got to find everybody we can. So.
Yeah.
Did you go to downtown West Palm before you graduated high school?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you
We
worked
would go to 313. That was like the spot
That's
back
where
then.
we would go, yes.
Remember Club Soda?
No, I mean, yeah, I remember what that was.
Yeah.
I did not go there, though.
I should have been.
But the secret downtown, unless you were with Kory, if you didn't go with Kory and you had to, like, finesse your way in somewhere, there used to be these girls that would stand on the corner by, like, Duffy's and Nico's, and they'd be passing out wristbands for, like, Monarchy and, you know, whatever the clubs were. And it would be, like, free entry, you know? So you'd put this wristband on, and we wouldn't actually go because they'd ID you, you know? And we didn't have fake IDs at the time. But if you have, like, 4 wristbands on, it looks like you've been club hopping all night.
No
So then you'd walk
way.
up to 313 and be like, hey, what's up, bro? And, like, make sure you wave your wristband arm around. And just, like, try to hope that they just thought you looked old enough because you had all these wristbands on. You must have been in all these clubs.
Yep.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And if they tried you, you could really just be like, we'll buy a bottle of Smirnoff. And they'd be like, all right, fine. Come
Which
on.
is the fun. They would always have like $50 bottle nights.
Yeah, it was like
$100
nothing.
bottle nights. Like,
$50 bottle is a fire
We-
deal.
We'd be splitting it between
but
7
there's
people.
a reason
too.
none of these places exist anymore. But,
No, right.
But I mean, we used to have so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
those
never
nights-
I still can't drink Pinnacle whipped vodka
Sorry about
because
that.
of you, Kory.
Sorry.
That was your go-to?
Well, no, but that night that he picked me up, there was definitely
There was
a bottle
in
being
the
passed
car,
around.
yeah, and we used to mix it with the orange soda, and it was a summer party.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
It was a summer
downhill.
party.
It was a summer party.
So after high school, did you stay around here? Did you go to a college or university?
So no, what I did was the person I was with for music basically was my college. I'd have to go to Miami every week, constantly just learning and training with her for everything that I was doing. Everything that I wanted to do, I couldn't learn in a school. You have to learn from experience.
Yeah.
Really. And I was with one of the best people in the industry, and I just learned so much, which is why I'm able to just kind of do everything now on my own.
Yeah.
And at that time, what was your schedule like with music? Like 5 days a week
I
you
was
were working
in
on
high
this?
school, so I would have to have notes and excuse me from school early.
Were
Actual
you
real
manipulating
ones.
those notes and
No,
writing them
see,
yourself,
these-
or those were
these
genuine?
ones were
I don't
actually
believe
real.
anything he says in school now.
Yeah, these were actually real ones. I had to leave probably like a period early because I'd have to get to Miami. I'd have to drive straight
Right.
there, get there, practice, and then you train, and then you come right back home. And during the week, that's
Imagine if they had the
tiring.
bright line.
Boom.
Game
Yeah.
changer.
But I mean, hey, I really wanted it.
Yeah, right.
Gotta
No,
put in
good
the-
for you.
We
You know-
really want the determination.
What would be an awesome thing, and I don't know if you've done it yet. Have you ever tried playing Sunfest?
I've done it twice.
Really?
I'm gonna say twice that I've officially done it, but actually the one time was I was younger, and Maya was performing,
Mm-hmm.
and she pulled me on stage, and like I got to sing with her. We were backstage like the whole
That's
time,
cool.
but
Yeah.
it was really cool. Like she brought me on to the whole thing, and she actually just was the other artist on the other show that I performed on, but I didn't get to see her. Side note.
Wow.
But and then I did the party barges a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they put me on the barges, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I bet.
It was a lot of fun.
The barges are wild.
It was really cool.
I've never been on the barges. Fuck, I've never been at Sunfest partying, to be honest.
As
I was,
like an
I was
adult?
always in college, and then when we came back, it's been like COVID, and like
Yeah.
they haven't
right.
done it in a few years.
Well, when it's open again,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be the dope.
Do you think
it's gonna
they'll
be so
wait
much
till
fun.
I guess 2022 to do it again in May? You think next May?
I think next year's it should be.
Yeah, it should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
fine by this next.
Because this year was on the fence, right? I thought they were. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did Boat Show, which is like basically the same.
Do they go back to back, Sunfest and Boat Show?
Sort of. They're like a month apart, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like the same kind of level of event, you know,
Yeah.
a shitload of people crammed into it. I mean, Sunfest is definitely more packed
Yeah.
people into a stage.
And it's also like 5 full
But we're
days.
talking about
That's
like,
true.
And there's the barges, and everyone's like this for 5 days.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the boat show, people aren't on the barges. Like there's no barges.
Hey.
Yeah. They're on the docks.
Trying to-
They're not
And
partying.
there's
I
like
get it. It's a
3
different
main
level,
stages,
but it's
like-
very. If you can do a boat show, I feel like you should be able to do a Sunfest.
No, 100%.
You
Because
know?
you can do the setup. It was.
Sunfest has had some bangers there. J. Cole.
there's been
Big
huge
Sean.
names
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
When we were in high school, they had like a crazy line. There was like Wiz and Snoop Dogg
That was
and
the dopest concert.
Snoop
Crazy.
Dogg's been to Sunfest?
hell yeah, I watched him from Bradley's.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I think it was
know
Wiz
that.
That
and
was the
Snoop at the
first
same
time I
time.
smoked a blunt, I think.
Really?
Something like it's the first time I ever touched weed. It was the first time I smoked weed, I think. Or something like it was
That's
at the
something-
Wiz and Snoop. I was like, all right, if I'm
That's
gonna
a
do it, I
great
gotta
time
do
to
it.
do it. That's the time to
do
And
it.
I just was
Fuck
like,
it.
oh my god, I smoked weed.
I think he probably literally did that. I could totally see it.
Oh yeah, I
I'm fucking
smashed.
high.
It was so
Yeah.
funny.
No man, that's the place to do
It
it.
was funny.
The last thing about high school I want to talk about is, so what actually happened with the chorus squad?
Oh yeah.
Well, so I got to go to Gardens because of the chorus. A whole issue.
Magnet program? You
No,
were
like
exempt?
family didn't really want me going there. They wanted
Okay.
me to go to like a different school, and because it didn't have the best reputation.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
So we were like, all right. So I got there, got into chorus. Everything was fine. Everything's great. I kind of just did my thing. Stood to the my character is big.
Yeah.
So obviously I stood out in class at it. But when I sang and stuff, I was very like to myself. Like I was shy about that because that was like nobody knew that I actually wanted to really do it. So then by the time they found out that I really could sing, I was already training and working and really working on music, like with for real, like doing this shit, like people had no idea. So I was like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing right after high school. I'm kind of not you're doing that. You're talking. And I just wasn't, I was 18 at the time, 19. I was just like, I'm ready to, I don't care about this anymore. And we had somebody else come in, like an assistant teacher, and she tried to take over, and it didn't really work out. And my exchange of words weren't really well with either teacher. It was just kind of butting heads for like a whole year.
Was it like, I get the fucking lead because I'm an actual singer type?
No, I didn't even want to do
Yeah.
the variety shows, and I didn't have to do any of them. I would like work the lights because I didn't feel like performing.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
really want to do it. I kind of just did it because the training and the practice, which
Yeah.
was really good for me. But no, I mean, it just was.
It wasn't your vibe.
It was a lot of fun, but the butting of the heads was really bad. And I would pop, like I would pop. I was not nice. I wasn't really a nice. I don't know.
Student?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Wow. The high school stories I love. He's literally the kingpin of Gardens High School.
That's quite the.
No, not the kingpin.
Kingpin.
El Chapo? Like, he runs the fucking
Yeah,
thing.
right.
Kingpin was on the
Yeah,
right
what,
one.
can you give us like the craziest party story? I know you got one. Let's give us a good
I
one.
don't really have crazy
Oh,
crazy
shut
high
the
school
fuck
parties,
up.
or as you mean?
Anyone you want.
No.
Whatever you feel like
I don't
telling.
know. Crazy stories. I don't really have any crazy stories. Something always fucking.
You don't have
happens.
any crazy stories? That's hard to believe.
He's manipulating this podcast. Right
Yeah,
now.
that's what it is. I don't know.
One time, Kory blacked me out with mind erasers
Okay,
at a
but-
fucking pawn shop. Or I think it was Dr. Feelgood's.
Peter would walk to work or like to and from work, and if I would see him walking past the club, I'd be like, "Yo!" Or I would walk to his job and be like, "Yo, come
I
down
know
here
you're
and check
getting
out
off
the club
soon."
for like 5 minutes." I would walk
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from work and I'd be like, chug a mind eraser, chug a shot, like have
Wow.
him like going back to work, stumbling
back
like,
to back to back.
oh my god, every night.
Because he was like throwing the party, so it's not like he was like paying for any
You
of this
working
shit.
at
He's like,
Bradley?
"Hey, mind
Yeah,
eraser," you know.
and
then,
that's
like,
the
I
other thing when you
turn around,
know,
another
Yeah.
one. It was man. It was like he was just on a mission to get me fucked up.
it was the best.
What's a
Yeah.
mind eraser?
It's like vodka, Kahlua, soda water,
No,
and you're supposed to
sir.
just chug it.
Yikes.
It's amazing.
Now, when it comes to like not your personal life, but like your day-to-day hobbies besides music and work, what would you say you like doing?
I go to the gym every day.
Okay.
Nice.
Have to. I don't know. It sounds funny. I'm not big at all, but it's like I'm
in shape. I'm sure.
I'm constantly working out. Like I love it.
That's good.
Going out, I guess.
Okay.
Is going out a hobby? Not like going out partying like that. Just trying new things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm always trying different.
Would you rather have like a night out to the club or like a dinner with a bunch of friends?
Can we do both?
Oh, that's a good answer.
See, like that night we went to dinner and then we went. I had a show. Then we went to a nice dinner at Hard Rock for my friend's birthday. Then we went to Cascade concert. So it's like that kind of stuff I like. I'm doing so many different. I like to be busy.
Yeah.
I can't
See,
be
like,
stagnant.
Doesn't that sound like a long ass night to you?
Pete,
To me, like
at
a nice
12,
dinner.
yeah.
I'm like ready for bed after the nice dinner. I can do any of those 3 events, but I got to do one of them.
If I don't have performance-enhancing drugs in me, I cannot make
right. Okay. I won't
Yeah.
exaggerate. There was definitely a time in my life when I was partying like that
Yeah,
that I could
yeah.
participate in all 3
That's
events.
the only
in one
time
night.
I can make it past
Just
midnight.
not there
Not even
anymore.
on like a blackout note. On like a, I need a
No, I'm
slice of
probably
pizza
very
and I need
coherent
bed.
then.
Like it's like a delusional. I'm stumbling because I'm dead. Like this past Saturday, it was like 12 o'clock. We were walking past Nico's. Nikos.
Nikos.
I look at Paige. I'm like, pepperoni in bed sounds pretty good right now. And so we fucking call the Uber. And like that's also I'm engaged and like life's a little different now.
Different.
Very true, yeah.
Now, do you think you'll eventually hit an age and be like the nightlife scene is not for me anymore? Do you think it's coming?
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But because of what I do,
Yeah.
it's very simple. It is easy. It's a lot of fun. And now now that my shows are getting bigger and to be hosting parties, it's still fun.
Yeah.
I'm just riding.
You having fun with it
this
until
out.
it's not fun no more.
Yeah,
Like you're saying, like you're engaged now. Your life's in a different place.
Yeah.
My life, I'm single.
Yeah.
And I'm partying. And
You mingling?
And I'm.
Yeah.
And I'm just having the best time, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just, so I don't know. Maybe it'll get, I'm sure, I'm tired of it now.
Yeah.
But I'd rather right now be like, let's go.
And there's also a connotation that people who go out a lot, and like Pete always had to remind me of this, and I'm gracious for you to say that, like, because Pete and I both have a shit ton of friends in hospitality, and like that's like most of them, it's a 5-day, 6-day-a-week job,
Right.
and you think every time they're either out or they're going out, they're like blacking out. A lot of these people go to like either a strip club after work or like something like that, just for a beer, just for like a nightcap, and like. Just because you're very social, Bismarck's a great example. I know Bismarck, he's always going out and doing stuff, but he's not fucking blacking out. It's his social scene, you know?
Yep.
And a lot of people have a lot of friends that go out as well. So it's like
There's a lot of people from when I was working in the club still that are there as regulars, every single weekend that don't even drink, but they just like the social atmosphere and like to be there, like to be seen.
And they're friends with the bartenders, they're friends with the managers. So
Sure, right.
it's like really just going to hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Now, where do you see yourself in 10 years, Kory? What's kind of that goal?
Wherever I'm going to be.
Okay.
I'm very in the moment. I'm a very in the moment person now. And I'm like.
How does that structure with goals, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a time, and you're obviously performing, so whatever you're doing is working for you, with what your output is. But is there a point where it's like, I got to still put my foot in the sand and not be so go with the flow,
The thing was, it was like, what do I want? Okay, my goal, I want a record deal. Fuck that, I open my own record label. Cool, I want to do this song. Okay, cool, but I want this person, I get this. So it's kind of like what I want, I just kind of do in that moment. Okay. I don't really have these goals of like, all right, in 5 years, I want to be selling out arenas. Yes, that's like, if you're talking about like having fun, like Kory, in 5 years, I want to be world tour, stadium tour. Like, what you're talking about, like, that's what you, but I'm very like, if we're being for real, I'm in the moment. I don't know, I don't really set goals like that. I don't set these, I just don't set goals.
Yeah.
For that kind
well,
of
also
stuff.
you take massive
Depends
action.
on what it
you
is,
take massive action too.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people have, like we were saying, analysis paralysis, where like they set all the goals, they do
They've
all
got
the
a whole
thinking.
list of goals, but they do nothing to work towards them.
I just kind of make the situation work for me. Like even when it's, if I'm doing a video, I'm like, oh shit, I want to be in shape, but it's like, it's in a week. How am I supposed to get a 6-pack in that? All right, we got to make this
You've been
work
working out every day, Kory.
Yeah, but it's the diet part's the other part.
It is a
So
balance.
it's like, I don't know. I just kind of make the situation work. The goal thing is
finesse would probably be a great adjective for you. You finesse.
Hustle.
Yeah.
Finesse. Hustle.
Do you have any? I mean, it sounds like you don't have a lot of plans for the future in general, but like, do you plan on signing other people to your label? Is that a goal, do you think?
I mean,
you want to have other artists?
I would actually like to sign to a major.
Oh yeah.
Thing. Yeah, if the deal is correct.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna sell out though.
No, it's not even about that. It's just the deal has to be correct.
Yeah.
Like it actually has to be right, otherwise you're fucked.
Now, do you have an agent or do you work all this out by yourself?
I have a little team that I have, but nobody's really an agent. We kind of just see who can book, and we get me some booking things. And,
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you said you were mingling. Is it a goal to be in a relationship? Are you single life? Like where do you want to be as far as status? Are you ready to settle down? You want to keep dating?
There are times where I can go either which way. I'm ready to settle down, maybe have a baby, like in a relationship. Let's have fun. I can do that and still do my music.
Yeah, sure.
I can really do that.
I'm talking
music.
Would
you like that? Would you like that?
I would actually love to be in like a normal, stable, calm relationship, ready for like a let's go.
Have you ever had that?
No. But that's also been a choice.
Yeah, right.
So you're saying you've had the opportunities too, and you've gone the other route.
Yeah, and every kind of relationship I've been in is never really like one that is a good one. It's either toxic in its own way, or somebody's in another situationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a term these days.
Situationship.
It really
I hate 2021, man.
That might have to be a T-shirt in the next job.
I would say it's this area, like our area.
Yeah,
you think
South
it's toxic?
Florida.
West Palm girls are spoiled rotten.
Like this South Florida is, in general, is very.
Yeah.
I think it's go. It's very.
And there's so many. There's so much. What's the word? I say it all the time. When options, there's many temptation. There's a ton of temptation here.
Right.
You know, everywhere you look. And they're just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this.
100%.
But for right now, I mean, but that's the thing. Nobody has my attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the ones that do are in situationships.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if they have your attention, why don't you get them out of those situationships into your situationship?
Because I'm fine where I'm at. I got you doing what you do. We got you sometimes, and this is what I'm doing. I got you sometimes, and kind
so you got some game with it, Kory.
I don't know what you call it, but I'm just having fun, and I'm just I'm doing what I do, and it's cool.
What's the kind of person that you think that you need to be with in one of those long-term relationships? Like, say it's the ideal partner that you do finally settle down with. What's that person like? Is
it chill? Is it type A?
I think it's
going
to take someone who's very just...
You see them being in the party scene also, or like the polar opposite?
That's a good question.
Somebody that I don't have to take care of. You could be in the party scene, but as long as I don't have to fucking babysit you at all, or worry that I can't trust you in any way.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Trust is, in any sense,
in that industry especially.
I'm a wild child, like for real. When I start going out and I really start partying, and I'm talking like we'll be Miami, then we're doing Orlando, then we're going this, and we're just nonstop like. So if you want to be able to trust me, because I want to continue to do this shit. Like I want to be able to trust you if they're in the party life.
It's a very independent relation, independent in the fact that you guys are going to live your lives, but and come together and be harmonious in the end of the day.
Are you usually the type of person that should be trusted in relationships?
That's a good question.
See, okay, so I used to always be like, well, I'm the cheater,
Yeah.
But if I've come to the realization that every time I've been in the relationship,
it doesn't happen that way.
I'm not the one doing the cheating. I'm with the person But now I'm good. Like I'm not with anybody that's doing that. I've learned a lesson. I've dealt with the guilt.
Yeah.
It's not the funnest.
No.
But no.
Do you feel like, and this is more of a broad question, just for like dating society these days, do you think when someone has a gut feeling that someone's cheating on them, 99% of the time they're right? Or do you think a lot of people overdo it and they're over anxious about that?
I get in my head a lot, and I'll create a situation that just is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think it goes both ways. It's circumstantial.
Yeah, for me, if I'm like, all right, what's that motherfucker up to? Or she's up to some shit. Like, I gotta look at myself and be like,
some crazy shit, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a Virgo. Look, so I'm a Virgo,
Yeah.
and I just looked up the list of some shit, and it was like all Virgos. And I was like, they're all the crazy ones. I was like, I get it now.
He's the type of guy got it call this person and be like, hey, where you at? Like, knowing, like, where they are.
He's watching them from across the street with his sunglasses on.
Oh, I'm just at the grocery store. No, you're not, bitch.
What's up, man? What are you doing?
You're home.
But see, I think it's because that kind of shit's happened to me.
You've been making it all up in his head.
But it's because that happens to be like, oh, you're out with so and so, and I'm like, how the fuck how do you know who is here looking at me? Like, I get it all the time. Like, and I'm like, why am I getting like?
Because you're famous, Kory.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It is. Also, though, too, and this is on a broad spectrum of like relationships. Like, I'm a very talkative person. Like, you seem very talkative, and you as well. So when we're out, like at a bar or whatever, and we're with our significant other, I still talk to everyone. You know, other girls. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's all about my intention, right? I have no intention of like anything in that direction. So. And Paige is the type of partner, she understands that. Like, I'm a fucking talker. You know, I'm not over there flirting with people. I'm not, like, you know, anyway in that intention. So there's a difference between guys and girls who go out with, like, just, like, a bubbly personality saying, hey, what's up to people? And also, like, crossing that line.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself accidentally abandoning Paige and, like, getting lost in a conversation with someone else and realizing you haven't talked to your wife in, like, 30 minutes?
Probably, yeah. And that doesn't happen all the time. But if I'm, like... Going into the event on Saturday, though, I knew I was going to be work in the room. Exactly. And she knew that.
Yeah.
And so
Did Paige have fun?
Of course, yeah, she had a blast. She had a bunch of friends come down from Fort Lauderdale. Shout out you guys. And it was really awesome.
Anybody buy any bottles of Dom?
No bottles of Dom were bought. Don't.
I'm never going to recover financially from this.
I was at 123 about a month ago, and we were with a bunch of group of friends, and we were all very enhammered with alcohol. And a friend bought a $1,000 bottle of Dom on my card. Oh, shit. So I didn't know that. But
I've heard this story so many times.
It's a classic.
I'm just used to this. I'm like, oh, I've had to deal with this.
Yeah. And the waitress comes out, hands me my bill for the night. I open it up. It's an extra $1,200 than I thought it was gonna be. And I'm like, damn, what happened here, yo? Like, usually it's like, sir, I got the sweet potato fries. it's an extra 95 cents, you know? It's not the DOM 1000 next to it.
Sweet potato.
You know, like the little mistake. You know, this is like the
truffle.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Damn.
So
and it was not that. It was the $1,000 bottle. So I said, what happened? And the waitress was funny. I think she thought I was like playing dumb or like, I don't know, trying to play a game. She just pointed to the flashing bottle behind my head. And I literally turn around and it's like a neon glow.
You didn't notice the glowing champagne bottle in your bucket?
And I just said, oh, no. I didn't have a sip of it. I didn't even know, you know. So, unfortunately, the girl who bought the bottle didn't know it was that expensive. And listen, it all worked out.
So she just ordered it, like she was just ordering a bottle in general?
No, I think there was a miscommunication. I think we were all drunk, and she thought the bartender said one number, and it was actually another 0. And so...
Allegedly.
$100 bottle of Dom at a club.
But
makes sense.
Listen, shout out McKay. I fucking love you. And the group of friends, I love you guys. It happens to the best of us.
I want my money back.
My Venmo is...
No, it all worked out. But anyways. Have you ever had a situation like that, Kory? Gone out and like check your bank account statement the next morning?
No, not mine.
Okay.
I'm not, hell nah, bitch. From working in clubs, like I learned.
Yeah, Kory's
I'm that guy down the other tab. Put it on there.
Hell yeah. I'm like, I'll Venmo you. I got you.
Yeah.
Kory's ordering the bottle of Dom.
I'm like...
He's the finesse,
I've had to get people out of like jail situations, like with cops, like because they haven't, like because they've had like situations like that. I wasn't mine. He put it on my tab, and the cops are like, "Well, somebody's paying for it."
Right.
And I'm like, "Somebody's paying for it."
It used to happen at Kachina all the time.
Really?
That is a common occurrence.
Oh, that guy was buying it for me down there. Like what?
Or just like people come in with a squad of 20 people. 10 dudes, 10 girls,
and
it's
they can't
all on
afford
one
it.
card. And then, the girls do exactly the same thing. They order a bunch of shit. They order bottles that they didn't, And, the bottle servers don't... It's so busy. There's so many people. It's not realistic for them to be able to track down the one person who gave the card out of the group. So they just,
And they're just open tabs at the end of the night type thing? Or is like, how do you...
No, I mean, the person who put their card down is getting their card run,
That's true.
But then they throw a fit when they get the bill and they're like, this is not what it was supposed to be. And we explain, no, well, your entire posse was ordering on this tab because that's how this works.
When it gets declined like that, it's the worst.
That's the worst.
But do you
then
think,
cops get involved.
Do you think the kicker of that is, and I don't know if there's a way to prevent it, but like if you're a bartender, right, and and say I'm the guy who put a card down, and I have 8 friends next to me, and they're all saying just put it on their tab.
Right.
Do you think you should confirm once or twice with the guy who threw his card down though? Like that's my one kicker to that.
I think it's more on the guy who puts his card down. If you're coming with a group of friends, and
to specify these people aren't with me. I mean,
or no, like my friends can order on this from me, or they don't put anyone else on my tab. You know, but then, yeah, sure. If the guy's standing right there and someone says, "Hey, you can put it on his tab," yeah, sure. The bartender could just tap him and say, "Hey, is that good?"
Yeah.
But you got to also imagine if we're in a packed kachina, the bartender, it's not up to them to walk out of the bar and go search around to find the guy and like, "Hey, so and so wants to order a drink," and then the guy's gonna be like, "Oh, who? Which one? Point her out." And, like, it's just not possible, you know. So yeah, if someone says I'm on that tab, they're probably just gonna get put on that tab.
And I'm asking genuinely because I don't, like.
No, right, and it's a good question because it is an actual problem that happens every weekend.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. So Kory, on the music spectrum, what is like the next step though? You just came out with this song, "Sex in Miami."
Yes, I did.
And like, what does that mean to you? And performing it.
Please go into detail. Where's
the inspiration? You like that? Damn right. Can I be your MC guy?
Who was the inspiration?
All right, so if you read the backstory, there's a backstory actually. Like it's a whole.
Okay, cool.
Like, it's on Instagram. So I actually had an idea for the story, or for the song, and I went to the studio. Or I stayed in Miami, got a hotel, and I was like, I always have to like get ready, get my mind right before I go, blah blah blah. It was the shittiest room I'd ever fucking had.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna be the dopest hotel. No, but it was a dope location downtown. So I'm there, I'm chilling. I had an idea for this song that I wanted to go in, which is actually going to be the next song, so I don't know when to say what it is.
Okay.
If this song's sexual, the next one's going to be even way
okay.
more. So I was like, all right.
Blowjobs on South
That is actually a really good. I'm taking that. So
rim job question mark?
Oh my god. So
Oh no.
That's so fucking funny. So
what were we talking about?
So yeah. So,
no, inspiration for
so
Sex in
I
Miami.
had an idea, and then about an hour prior to my studio session,
Shorty hit you up.
I met somebody, and we had sex in
Miami.
like an hour before.
So you get there, and between getting there and going to the studio,
met somebody and went back to my room.
Yeah.
There's a whole moment, there's a whatever. So then I'm in the shower, and I got the idea when I was in the shower.
Okay.
Well, I know what I'm
Miami,
singing
and I
about
was
tonight.
like, holy shit! Like I got the I don't want to say the whole full story, but anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I meet somebody, blah blah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The inspiration was literally Sex in Miami.
Yeah. So then I was in the shower, and I was like, Sex in Miami. I was like, that's the fucking song.
Yeah.
So I get into the studio, and I was like, yo. I didn't tell anybody what just happened.
You ever had someone do this to you before?
I didn't tell anybody. Like,
so half hard. He's like, you gotta hear this.
Well, it's fresh.
Wiping himself off. Yo, it was in the studio bathroom when he had sex.
Exactly. So I get there, and I'm like, all right. And I was like, this is the song. And then I was like, he was like, all right, let's go off that. And I was like, okay. And then the title ended up being Sex in Miami, and I was like, this worked out perfectly.
How long does the process usually take of making a song? Is this something you're banging out in like a 1-day session?
Like right before the session.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
He's like 30 to 60 minutes.
Like 12 minutes if I had to guess.
Yeah.
13.
13. You know, he's got an average. He hits that Apple Watch. He's like, all right, let's see if I get my...
Tatted Audrey, what do you mean?
Oh my god. He's got 13 on his wrist.
Shit. Where were we?
So you
How long
said
does
you
it
got to
make-
get your mind right before a session. What do you do to get your mind right?
So I can't.
Other than
I
sex.
try not to like. Fuck off. So I try not to smoke.
You don't smoke
Well, I try not
before
to.
the session.
No, I said
try.
I
You try.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Because of my vocals.
Someone's
I
peer
wanna-
pressuring you.
It's like smoking. It's like weed's calling him. He's like, hey, you want to smoke today? He's like, no, can't try.
He gets down to his hotel lobby on his
Yeah.
way to the studio, and there's hot girls that want to fuck him, and weed
So-
enticing him.
So, I switched to edibles.
It's true. Okay.
So it's not a mental thing; it's your throat.
No, yeah, it's for vocals.
Got
so
it.
I have to like switch to edibles and stuff. And funny story, I got one of my producers in the middle of the song. So he's the first time ever he was like, I've never had to stop in the middle of a session.
Oh,
he had to quit on
no.
himself. I gave him so many of the little Thuragels.
Okay.
From the dispensary was so fucking funny. No?
No, I don't know this.
Got you.
Oh,
See, that's why
fuck.
I like edibles, but I don't like edibles. Like, I liked edibles back when I was 19. Like, I had, like, the weed fucking brownies in college they sold and shit.
Yeah, the mystery dosage.
Yeah. And you're like, dude, I'm either going to be dead on my couch or, like, not going to feel anything, you know?
Right,
It's a fun game to play.
Yeah.
But, like...
It's dangerous.
I just
game.
pop a few before the studio, get my mind right, and just chill.
You know,
Have
what,
my
like,
tea, water.
what kind of dose are you playing with? Do you know?
Well, I know it says 1 to 9, but I pop like 3.
Okay.
I'll get that information at home. I have the things at home.
All right. So, but you say you're like a stoner or no?
See, somebody asked me this. I think
stoner.
I Googled this question. I was like, what does it take to be considered a pothead? Because if somebody calls me a pothead, I'm going to be like, bitch, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I really think I might be.
Okay.
I don't like
Bitch, I
trying to
might
say,
be.
I don't know things about like weed like that, but I know I'm at the dispensary.
That's
every
something
day.
a stoner would not say.
You have this...
I
you don't have to every day?
I know the strands I like. I know
Okay.
this. I know what I smoke. I know
You a indica or
I'm
sativa
an
guy?
indica leaning or straight indica boy.
Yeah, same.
So it's like any. I'm not
Indica
a-
leaning, what does that mean?
it's
Sometimes there's like a
hybrid.
hybrid, but it's like
Okay.
indica dominant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yes. Because the sativas make me clogged and messes with that nerve in my nose, and there's certain terpenes in it. There's
Yeah,
like-
I don't fuck with the
Yeah,
sativas
so I like
anymore.
Damn, he's a
either.
chemist.
I find it funny though how picky we all are about weed now.
but
though,
certain
because
weed will not mess with my vocals.
remember back in high school when
Really?
it was just one type? You got mango every week, no matter what. I don't know if
Blueberry
that was
yum
indica or
yum.
sativa
Yeah.
or what it was,
Well,
but you just
sound-
smoked it.
Well, he's another singer, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Has his own line, Coral Reefer.
Does he?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the pens. And there's one pen I can't mess with because it'll fuck with my voice if I'm going to sing. But there's one that I can smoke before I'm going on stage, and it kind of stops my little drip and it clears up. It's crazy. It's so
Interesting.
cool. I have little tricks that like
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did you ever go through a dab phase?
Yeah, actually. Well, I'm about to get back into my dab phase. It's funny you ask that.
Wait, what?
I know one of my Christmas presents this year. It's this thing called a Puffco Peak.
You said this
I told
before.
you about it. Yeah. I'm getting one for Christmas.
Wow.
So I'll be back on the dabs very soon.
Why
Right.
why that compared to just...
Because I've been smoking like 7 backwoods a day.
Which is a lot,
And that's
yeah.
a super expensive and probably unhealthy habit.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to kind of switch gears with this
Oil.
oil.
Yeah. Now, what does like weed do for you? Do you think you're very high strung, so it brings you down? I mean, what does it mean to you?
You want to answer that?
No, I'm curious what you're going to say.
So the pre-rolls, like you guys smoking, like I can smoke 4 of those a day.
Okay.
And then I smoke my pen constantly. My bong I've probably hit 8 times today, 9 times today.
Okay.
Like my dad just bought me my
So
first
you're
bong.
a little bit of a stoner,
Yeah,
dude. That's
yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to be like, I was in a really bad car accident when I was younger. I was really like dead or paralyzed from the neck down, but like
Really?
fully mobile, thank God.
Yeah.
And then I was in a few more, and then just stupid shit growing up, and just herniated disc. So it gets me out of my pain, and it helps me with my agitation a lot, and it helps me like chill because I'm.
You said you multiple times in this episode you're snappy. Is that like something you fight with, like mentally hard, like very? I'm not saying like bipolar, but very. You have anger.
So that was the thing. I was always like, "Am I bipolar? Am I that?" And they're like, "No." Like I'm like, "Are you sure?" Like, are you fucking? And they're just, no, I'm
Bitch,
just-
tell me.
Yeah.
I have so much energy, and I'm so not even like because I can be. That's what people don't really get is like during the day, like I'm home chilling, high vibing at the gym. That's it. Like I'm very calm, chill. But then like nighttime runs around, and it can switch real
Yeah,
quick.
You even arrived today surprisingly calm. I think I'm used to seeing you in your party element, so
yeah.
every time I see you, it's like, bitch, what the fuck is up? Shots, you know?
Yeah.
And then I like came outside, I was like, yo! And you're like,
hey.
How you doing? Like, so yeah, I mean, it just gets me out of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would say though, yeah. It calms me down.
Yeah.
It chills me out. It makes me be normal.
You can tell if Kory's the type of friend, like best friend, where if you cheat on like his best friend, he will fucking come after you. You know what I'm saying? Has that
you
ever
one of
happened?
those?
Like, say you have like a best girlfriend, right? And she has a guy cheat on him, and like you see the guy out, type like you fucking snap type thing.
Oh no.
No,
Staying out of it.
really, you don't do drama.
I will.
You don't do any drama.
Back in the day,
Okay.
in like certain little things. See, now I'm kind of like you see me, and you know that's my friend.
Stay the fuck away.
You know.
Yeah,
And
we're
now
not
I
friendly.
know, like, yeah. It's funny because I was thinking about that the other day because I saw my friend's husband out. At the time, it was her husband, and I saw him out, and he tried to like hide. And I'm like, you come to the club knowing that I work here,
Right.
trying to kiss another girl right here, in front, and I'm just
Right.
like, and I just act like I just didn't. That's not my business at the end of the day. It's not my business. It's definitely because of the shit that I've done.
But that's such a hard, and this is totally, it has to do parallel with the situation you just said, but imagine like you are out and you see a best friend's significant other.
Depends on how close the person is, though.
But I mean, what I'm saying is, how close do they have to be to you for you to say something, or is it kind of like a automatic?
See, the thing is, I know so many girls and so many guys that stay in these relationships that are completely stupid, and they'll get blown over all social media, literally from screenshots and videos, and you're just like, and you're still with that person. So now, and then I lose the respect. So it depends on what kind of situation that they're already in. If I know they're in a toxic ass relationship and they've been doing this, and this for everybody to see, and you're doing it, then I have zero. I don't give a fuck at all. I don't care how close we are. Like, that's not my business. You know.
Because you know, exactly.
You're doing it yourself.
Right.
But then if it's somebody like...
innocently.
And I know that they're not a cheater, and the other person, I never heard anything bad about it, and like I saw somebody out, and I'd be like, I just saw your so-and-so out, but...
It's never to stir the pot. You're just looking out.
It would have to be somebody super close to me.
Yeah.
And I'm only close with a handful of people.
True.
Yeah. No, that's well said.
Did you see that a lot at Cucina, like regulars you knew and shit like that?
I wouldn't say, not like scenarios like that where like I know someone's being cheated on, but you would see it a lot where like the same girl comes in with different dudes all the time, you know, but it's not like that girl's got a boyfriend, but there's also nothing wrong with that, you know, like she's allowed to be doing that.
Yeah.
It sucks though, because when you work in the club and stuff and all your boys want to go out and they're leaving their girls at home, but those are your boys.
Right.
You're not really friends with the girl.
Sure.
So all my boys are hooking up with these girls, or I'm actually hooking them up with these girls, and I'm encouraging.
Yes.
You know. The next step. So it's also, that's also the other thing. I was making money like by my friends cheating on their girls easily.
But you know, and in your defense, at the end of the day, you're not making those guys do anything that they don't want to do.
I'm not forcing anybody. I'm just come out. But
like they know if they're going out with Kory, what. Like, not position they're gonna get put in, but like they know the vibe.
Everybody knows.
Sure.
Everybody knows. And a lot of the times these girls were like, they get nervous, or the boyfriends, if I have really close girlfriends, they are like, oh, fuck, because they already know it's.
At the end of the day, we're all grown-ups, you know. No one's making you do anything.
But this was, now we are, but like, now we're good.
And don't play the victim card after the fucking fact you cheated on someone. Like, you knew what the fuck you're doing.
You always do.
Yeah.
That's why I stay single too. Like, I just don't trust anybody.
No, dude, that's the hard part, man. For real. I'm super grateful for the relationship I'm in now, because for like the first time in my life, there is like no trust issues in my mind, you know, which I thought for the longest time that wasn't going to be like a possibility. Like, I started thinking, I'm just not going to be able to date girls like in the bar industry. I definitely can't date another bartender, you know. Maybe I can't even date a pretty girl, because like I'm so, I don't want to say like crazy jealous, but like I always had these trust issues in whatever relationship I was with. But again, it was like back to what you were saying earlier about like the gut feeling, and if you think someone has that gut feeling, are they right? Of course, it's circumstantial. But I kept finding that I was, you know, like the things I would be suspicious of. I'm not a stupid guy, you know, and I'm also not a crazy guy. But I also don't like being played or disrespected. And when I see something I don't like, I'm going to address it, you know, and sometimes that gets played off as the crazy boyfriend, you know, but then when I find out what I was suspected of was actually going on, then I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then, you know, you find someone, those kind of relationships teach you what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing to put up with and what those red flags are that you shouldn't be chasing after. And I think that's how you ultimately end up with the right partner, you know, like I'm in this relationship with a bartender that works in the nightlife industry that wears all the same skimpy little outfits all my other girlfriends used to wear, but I don't worry about her because we have that trust and we have that like core foundation where I know she's not going to do me dirty and she knows I won't do her dirty, and now nothing else matters, you know? But it took all those other hard relationships to learn how to get to that point.
And I think it's also a vibe. Sometimes the other person didn't actually cheat, you know. I'm saying maybe in the past relationships, but it was just a vibe or a personality difference or a flirtation or the way they, you know, handled themselves that made you feel that way.
Right.
You know, so it
disrespecting the relationship.
Exactly, it was that trigger for you. Yeah. And if you're with a partner for a long time, you know their fucking triggers. You know what's gonna piss them off. Right. And if it's crazy, if you have a crazy boyfriend or girlfriend that doesn't let you go out and have fun, that's one thing. But if you know, like, it's micro things, just don't fucking do them, or you know why you're doing
it. Or get out of the relationship.
Exactly.
Quit trying to torture somebody.
Yeah. So, Kory, for your fans, for your friends, for everyone who just saw your life, a snippet of it for the last hour, what would you leave them with? Like, either words of wisdom, or a way you live your life, or just kind of advice?
Do whatever the fuck you want to do, and do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
I like that. You definitely gave off that vibe today, man.
Yeah, who cares? At the end of the day, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
That's good, dude. I like that a lot.
That's it.
Live your life, be happy.
Yeah.
And I think you're fucking happy. Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah.
Sick, man.
All right, guys, that was Kory Burns. He is an awesome guy. We got to go to one of his events for sure.
Yeah, totally.
I gotta bring you guys. Oh my God, I gotta bring you guys to some
We could
events.
vlog it and do the whole thing.
Yeah, just don't try to make us have sex with women, because our wives watch this.
God. Yeah.
But we would say no anyway, even if he did try. It's not gonna
Groupies,
work.
you don't want no groupie love.
Yeah.
Kory, we're gonna have you back on in a year or two, and all those things, the goals that you don't have written down on paper that I know you're gonna achieve anyway. I can't wait to hear about, man.
I guess
I'm excited to
the
see.
next goal would just be for the shows to get bigger, because they're getting bigger and bigger, and I can't. That's what it is. For the
I've got
shows
no
to just
doubt
be
that you'll do
massive.
that.
That's what I want.
I looked you up today on Spotify, Kory. If you guys are on Spotify or Apple Music, it's Kory Burns.
Yeah.
And you've got some fucking impressive numbers on there.
Impressive numbers.
Some of the songs do.
Yeah. Be proud of that, baby.
I'm ready for what Sex in Miami is gonna do. I'm excited to start pushing it. I just released it, so I'm like, let's see what we can do.
Listen to his new single, Sex in Miami, guys.
Yep.
This is the Millennial Mentality. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
That was awesome.
Put on nothing but the red.